Mud, glorious mud. Okay, finally, hello, welcome to another blah, Tweedy Outdoors, blah, blah, blah. I've taken a very long time to do what should have just been an hour's journey to get to Epping Forest. But I'm here at last with perhaps not much time to spare. But I just had a free afternoon, and on a whim I thought I would do something a bit different from the usual going and sitting under a tarp on the heath, and come and hopefully have a sort of picnic lunch here in Epping Forest. But it's more like sort of time for afternoon tea now, and I didn't bring things to make scones. Guess that counts as a ford of sorts. Well, one thing that surprised me about Epping Forest the first time I came, which is only I think last year sometime, is how much water there is. It's practically a sort of wetland habitat, absolutely filled, riddled with streams and ponds, quite wet underfoot today. I was wandering through the holly thickets a bit, trying to get to Loughton Camp, It's actually quite away from where I started off, and this is probably a bad idea because I'm likely to run out of time, especially with this ridiculous route through the holly bush. As found something a bit more like a path, which is hopefully heading the direction of Loughton, whatever you call it, camp. It reminds me of how cruel the English language is, and particularly a town from my youth, Loughborough. You may have heard of it, in the Midlands near Leicester. It has the sequence O-U-G-H in it twice, L-O-U-G-H, B-O-R-O-U-G-H. And the first one is pronounced the second one is pronounced So we can't even be consistent, even within the space of a single word. Ridiculous language. Stream to cross here. Do you see what I mean about practically a wetland? Epping Forest. A lot of running water. Bit of a climb now up the other side of the, I suppose, the valley formed by that stream back there. We're now on the banks of what will become Loughton Camp. Now arriving at the outer bank of Loughton Camp. It's an Iron Age hill fort, according to the sign there, and what it said on Wikipedia. I checked just now, dating back to about 500 BC, so 2,500 years ago. And this was possibly used by the wait a minute, I'll read it on Wikipedia again. I mean, you could just do this yourself, but possibly used by the Trinovantes as a defense against the Catu Velorni tribes. And there's a sort of fanciful local legend that it had something to do with Queen Boudica. There's just about any monument in this neck of the woods, including the barrow on Hampstead Heath, lays claim. Also apparently here in association with Dick Turpin, famous highwayman. Apparently one of his hideouts was located here. Almost like they're all one tree, isn't it? They're all connected at the roots. That is massive, if it is. Yeah, they all look connected. Single tree. Found a nice secluded spot in amongst this holly thicket. I don't think it's going to rain imminently, but if needs be I could string a tarp up between those two silver birch, well, perhaps that's silver birch, I'm not sure about that, trees, and I can get on and make lunch. Right, today's very late lunch. I have some instant rice from Japan, sort of slightly spiced rice there, and well, there's not much to show, but I also have brought with me red split lentils and some spices, a bit of leftover oil from the other day. So I'm going to make simple dhal. I was hoping I might be able to add to that with some foraged wild garlic, but I just haven't seen any yet. I know it does sometimes grow around here, but it's just too early in the season. Let's get this on. hope there's enough gas to actually boil this water. Like a minimum, I'm going to have some instant rice. Hopefully I can just about get that out, and if we're lucky, also some dhal. Half set up a tarp as I felt a couple of spots of rain, but I think this is coming to a boil. Wow, it's hot. Great. So this needs about 150 millilitres apparently of, it even comes with a spoon. Japanese, they think of everything. I have about 150. For the dhal, pretty straightforward. I've done this before in another video. Is it going to be that corner? I still don't know. Maybe that corner. When I was on Wansdyke, walking the Wansdyke trail some time ago. So sorry for repeating myself, but you know, perhaps some of you haven't seen that. Billy can. I've poured all the water out. Going to give it a splash of oil in there first. That can go on there. And I'm going to fry the, I've got a little jar of spices. Perhaps I'll cut to a segment of me grinding up spices at home. The spices are in there: cumin, coriander, turmeric, a bit of clove, some black pepper, maybe some chili powder, I forget now. So that is going to have a quick fry in the billy first. So back on with the gas. Terrible camera work. That is your basic tarka. There's also a bit of stock cube in there. In go this jar of lentils, and in goes some water. Give that a good stir. It's had a pretty serious boil now, the dhal. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this tarp. I'm sort of trying to do it from the inside, which never really works because I'm too lazy to put my boots back on. So there's one flappy corner at the moment that isn't attached to anything, but it's not actually raining. I mean, I can always just sit and hold that if there is a sudden downpour. Some bubbling, which is cauldron type of thing. Steamed up. I remembered a trick I did once before when short of a guy line. It makes this whole thing a bit narrow, but that's the bag from my ground sheet that just about does the trick. Well, I said there was not quite enough water, but I actually think that's pretty close to about right now, because obviously you lose a bit to evaporation. Some of it gets absorbed by the lentils. They start to cook, so it's actually not far off. It's perfect. Do a quick walk around my little home for the afternoon in the woods. That is a very, very narrow pitch on that tarp. It's a bit, probably needs to come out a bit further, but anyway, it's not actually raining, don't even need it. Especially with that funny angle in that corner. Nice and cozy underneath. Like, it's a grown-up version of hide and seek, isn't it? Making dens in the woods. Delightful. Seem to have the place to myself as well. Nice quiet corner of Epping Forest. Pretty pleased with that. And underneath here, a very late Sunday lunch. We have should do a chada moment. Under here, some dhal, sort of tarka dhal, the instant rice, and of course a little chèvre chambertin to go with that, as always. It's getting a bit formulaic yet, the Tweedy Outdoors format. I think I may have even featured this exact wine before. It's 2019 chèvre chambertin from Harmon Geoffrey. Good as ever. Concentrated, intense cherry, really fresh. Lovely. The usual taste test, the bit where I go, it's all delicious, with its own spoon. That is kind of a miracle. It really does. Well, it is cooked rice. It doesn't just taste like cooked rice, it is cooked rice, and it's got quite a nice mild sort of spicy flavour. Never a dhal moment on this channel. There are quite a lot of dull moments. Well, this is a dhal moment. Oh, that's just delicious. I know it just looks like, well, we didn't really want to describe it. It looks like it's lovely. It's sort of so much umami in it and slightly earthy, very satisfying. I think I got the spice mixed just about right there. Really quite good. I'm gonna switch off now and shut up and just eat it. But cheers. Play some background music for this bit. You know, this is beautiful. On arrival in Epping Forest, I thought, it's going to be hard to get away from the people. There were quite a lot of, as you'd expect, big woodland on the edge of a large city. A lot of people out walking dogs and couples going for Sunday afternoon trudges. Yeah, there's some big gaps between the tracks. If you keep wandering through the thickets, find some nice secluded spots to eat your dhal in peace. B-roll. I've just been sitting here in pretty much silence the last 20 minutes or so, and I've been absolutely loving it. Very serene here. It is that bit more like proper woodland and proper countryside than just Hampstead Heath. It's very difficult to sort of completely hide from other people, Hampstead Heath, but I've been sitting in this spot, an hour or so now, and I've just heard two people off in the distance, couldn't even see them. At some point I have to go home though. Very reluctantly saying goodbye to that little spot in the thicket there. Alas, time is ticking, and I really do need to be home. Hopefully I can head out this way, leaving Loughton Camp. I would have liked to have spent longer wandering around the embankments there and showing a bit more of the earthworks, but alas, time does not permit. So I squandered, I wouldn't say squandered, I really enjoyed quite a long period of time just sitting in a holly thicket. So hashtag I regret nothing. Anyway, hopefully this path here will get me back to a more major track, and then on from there I can head back towards Chingford. That sounds so exotic and exciting, doesn't it? I've left the actual foresty part of Epping Forest now. I'm into this sort of area of, I don't know quite how to describe it, scrubland. I assume this is a sort of semi-wild common, probably used for grazing at some time of the year. But even this is actually delightful. It's so quiet. I wandered off the proper track just to enjoy a few more brief moments of solitude. Well, I think I'm coming close to the end of the nice green bit now, and the sun's out a bit, so now is probably a good time to say goodbye. Bit of a strange video, I always say that, don't I, at the end, and I hope I didn't come across as too melancholy. It's probably a Sunday syndrome thing, but that was very pleasant, wonderfully serene, sitting in that holly thicket in Epping Forest. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.